Hi everyone, let me know if you can see me clearly. Wow, why do I look so yellow? The lighting's so weird. Weird. Let me know if you can see me. Hi everyone. Just letting everyone on Instagram know. Sorry about the last one. Not going live. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I think it's working. Okay, perfect. Okay, I got it. Hi everyone, how are you guys? It's finally fixed. It was crooked before. I don't know what was going on. It just wouldn't let me fix it. And then all of a sudden when I was like trying to set it up to fix it, it wasn't working for some reason. Technical difficulties. Let's get used to it because I swear I have the worst luck when it comes to tech stuff. Anytime I try to like set up a video or do a collab or anything like that, I always have to allot a bunch of extra time because I always have tech issues. Oh yay, I have your chats pulled up on my phone. Hi everyone, I missed you guys. I feel like so much has happened because if you notice, I am in a different location now. I am in New York. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted. I'm in New York now. I'm in a new little setup in this really pretty bedroom. It's so pretty. I love the aesthetic. But yeah, I feel like it's been so long since I've done a live stream, and that's probably because it's been like 2 weeks, which feels like a really long time for me. I always say like I'm gonna do a live stream every week, and then 2 weeks rolls around, and it's tricky. Hi everyone. Hi guys. I love seeing all your comments roll in. Hi from Ecuador. My skin is glowing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if it's the oiliness or not. Also, the lighting is kind of weird. It's making my skin look kind of yellow, but whatever. I'll roll with it. I'm not mad at it. Lindsay says, how's New York City? It's good. I am really just working a lot. I've pretty much just been in my apartment the whole time, but I did get to go out a little bit for today and got to go out like twice to get like lunch and dinner. But the rest of the time I have just been cooped up in my apartment just working, and honestly, I don't mind it. It's been good so far, but I'm excited to like experience a little bit more of the city. Hi everyone. Oh, you guys are so sweet asking how New York City is going. Oh, Juliet, you live in New York. Oh, I hope I get to meet you. That'd be awesome. Being that, you know, you live in New York City, because New York is a really big state. Hi guys. Okay, so let's just get into it. If you're new to these live streams, I love to just chat with you guys about skincare, answer your guys' skincare questions with my philosophy and my personal opinion and perspective. If you haven't been to one of these before, they're a lot of fun and usually a little bit crazy. Maybe today will be a little bit toned down because sometimes it's like so many questions coming in at once, but who knows. I love seeing all of your guys' questions, and it's just a fun opportunity for us to just, you know, like chat about skincare. I do want to say that my advice is not meant to be taken as medical advice or professional advice. This is just me sharing my personal philosophy and skincare opinions, and just doing this for fun and, you know, just talking about everything skincare. But if you are struggling with anything in your skin, like I always say, please go see your esthetician or dermatologist to get that shit treated. Yeah, I'm excited for this. Also, just to let you guys know, anyone who will be donating super chats in this video, all of the money is going to be going to an incredible organization called Thirst Project. They are amazing because what they help to do is partner with communities around the world to be able to build sustainable clean water systems to specifically communities that don't have access to clean water. I love them as an organization because they're really committed to sustainability and working alongside the community to accomplish what they want, rather than coming in and just imposing a solution on everyone. They're really collaborative. They're also like youth led and motivated, and I think what they're doing is just like absolutely incredible. One of my favorite nonprofit organizations out there, and so all of the super chats will be donated to the organization. So if you do have any questions, you want to make sure, you know, that money goes to them, feel free to use this. I'm going to be answering a balance of both super chat questions and normal questions that I get. I always love to make sure that there's a good balance. And was there anything else I was going to say? I think that was it. I think that was everything. I'm just going to get into your skincare questions because I already see them flooding in per usual. And I'm excited. Thoughts on jojoba oil? I love jojoba oil. I think as an ingredient, it's really amazing. I personally don't really understand the obsession with like using a 100%, oil. So like 100% olive oil, 100% jojoba oil, or any of those things. I don't think they're particularly beneficial to the skin because like I think the benefit of skincare products is that you get a plethora of a bunch of different incredible ingredients that are, put in at percentages and concentrations that are going to be shown to be helpful to the skin rather than just 100% of a single ingredient on your skin. The only time I would say that like something like jojoba oil could be beneficial to someone's skin on its own is if you have really, really, really sensitive skin, like everything makes you react or freak out. That's when I would say it's definitely fine to use, but I would more so recommend products that have jojoba oil in them, which thankfully is a lot of products on the market. You can actually find jojoba oil pretty commonly in a lot of products, but I think it's amazing. I think it's great. Good lightweight sunscreens. Ooh, so I always recommend mineral sunscreens on my channel. There's a bunch of different ones that I love. My personal favorite one that I've been using recently is the Bliss Blockstar SPF 30. I just can't help but use that one every day. It has a tint to it, so it's not a tinted moisturizer by any means, but it offers a little bit of like correction to the skin. But the main reason I love it is because it's so lightweight, works really well if you have oily skin, has this mattifying effect, which is really nice because a lot of sunscreens have this intense glow to them. And if you're like me who has, oily skin, that's a lot and you're looking like a grease factory, and that's not exactly what I want out of a sunscreen. So yeah, I recommend that one. What are some other ones I love? The Rovectin Clean SPF 50, the water one. I always forget the name of that one. That one's also really good as well. If you want a really lightweight consistency that's not heavy on the skin. It does have somewhat of a white cast, a minimal white cast, because it is an SPF 50, but that one's amazing. What are some other ones I love? I feel like I'm always testing out new sunscreens, trying to figure out. I love the Babo Botanicals sunscreen as well, either their tinted one or their normal one. That one's also great. I'd say it has a little bit more hydration than the other sunscreens, but any of those are amazing. I love all of them. Highly recommend them. Let's see. Hi, what's the best serum for a teen for really dry skin? By the way, love the channel. Thank you, Giovanna. I appreciate that. So the best serum for teen skin, if you have dry skin, honestly, I would recommend, a serum that's really focused on moisturizing the skin and hydrating the skin. The Crave Beauty Great Barrier Relief has always been my obsession, particularly if you have dry skin. It really helps to rescue my moisture barrier whenever my skin is really struggling with sensitivity. So I really like using that one. To be honest, I don't have dry skin, so I don't find myself like being drawn towards products like that. But any product that has hyaluronic acid, there's the Inkylis hyaluronic acid serum. That one's awesome as well. Just be aware, if you have dry skin but you live in a really dry climate, I don't necessarily recommend hyaluronic acid, but so long as your climate has, some moisture in the air, then I recommend using hyaluronic acid because that's definitely beneficial. What else? If you want to like splurge a little bit, the Kate Somerville Delicate Recovery Serum is really good as well. That one's on the pricier side, but a really good ingredient list. Yeah, those are some of my top ones that I recommend. I wish I had dry skin so I could give you more recommendations. I do have dry cheeks, and so I'll use like serums meant for dry skin on my cheeks, but typically I go for the most lightweight serums I can find. Oh, also the iUnique Beta Glucan Serum, also really good for dry skin. Hi, Hyram. My name is Madison, and I was wondering how I can get rid of my acne and my acne scars. Thank you, Madison, for the donation. I would say, honestly, go watch my video that I recently did about acne scars and how to get rid of them. There's multiple types of acne scars, and when someone says they have acne scars, I always want to ask more questions about like, what type are you struggling with? There's, the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which is like the red marks that you get after having acne. There's physical indentation acne scarring, which is a little bit trickier to get rid of, and that takes, exfoliation and retinol. I honestly would say more than anything, use a good sunscreen, and a retinol is amazing for helping with acne scarring. But go watch that video for a bit of a deeper dive because I have a whole video dedicated to it and specific recommendations based off of what type of acne scarring you're struggling with. Erica says, help, what order should my routine go? Vitamin C, niacinamide, and retinol. Not sure which order. Ooh, so that is a lot to use, I'd say, in one routine. I personally wouldn't recommend using them all at the same time because they're all pretty, well, niacinamide works alongside either vitamin C or retinol, but using vitamin C and retinol at the same time, I personally wouldn't recommend. They're both pretty strong treatments, and it could just be a lot that you're exposing your skin to, and the last thing you want to do is like make your skin really sensitized, reactive, irritated. So if anything, I recommend using the vitamin C or niacinamide during the day, and then using a retinol at night. And I personally recommend using a retinol about 3 times a week, depending on the formula. But that can be really beneficial. But I just wouldn't recommend using them all at the same time. If that makes sense. Let's see. I'm out of focus, really. Am I? Someone said I'm out of focus. Oh. Well, you can blame my phone for that. I'm filming with my phone. I feel like it looks fine on here, but I'm sorry. I tried to figure out the lighting setup. Getting situated at a new setup is kind of difficult, and I don't know what's going on. So I'm sorry if I'm out of focus. I don't know what to do about it. I'm sorry. If I had a legit camera, maybe I could help that, but I'm at the mercy of my phone and whatever it decides. Let's see. Could you make a guide about how acids should be mixed, please? Thanks. That's a great question. I actually did do a video a while ago about like ingredients and which ones to mix together and which ones not to mix together. Just in general, I would say unless a product has a blend of acids, be careful about mixing multiple acid-based products together. So, you know, if you have a product that has, say, like a mixture of glycolic acid and lactic acid in it and salicylic acid, you know, that's fine because it's been specifically formulated to be well tolerated by the skin. But if you're using a glycolic acid serum and then a lactic acid serum and then a salicylic acid serum and using them all at the same time, that is a lot. That's a little bit intense. I wouldn't recommend doing that because those products haven't been tested alongside each other to see if, you know, they'll be okay on the skin. So separate those. But if it's a mixture of all different ones, that's fine. I'll have to make a video about that at some point because I haven't done one about like mixing ingredients together in a long time. But I know I did do it at one point if you want to check out that video. Do you recommend Good Molecules? If so, what do you recommend? I have acne, oily, prone skin. Yeah, Good Molecules is great. I still need to like try more of their products. I have tried some of them. Love the company, love the ethics. If you have oily skin, I would say, you know, their niacinamide serum is great. I also love their dark spot correcting serum. That one's good too. I like their silicone-free moisturizer. But more than anything, if you really want to take advantage of like benefits to help with oily skin, niacinamide is definitely like the best route to go. Oh, thank you guys for all your donations. They're all going to the nonprofit Thirst Project. If you're new to the live stream, all the super chats will be donated to that organization. And if you want to learn more about it, I have a link in the description box below. But thank you all for your donations. Can I get a shoulder shrug? For sure, Jessica. Oh, Jessica Kent sent a donation. And guys, if you don't follow Jessica Kent, she is amazing. She talks about her experiences being in the prison system and what addiction is like. And I find myself watching so many of her videos just in awe at the things that she has gone through. She's an incredible person, such a bright light in my life, and so, so kind. But yes, Jessica, I will do a shoulder shimmy just for you. Should I say like every single week? Sure. Every single week. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your donation. Should you use bar soap on your face? Emilio asked. I wouldn't recommend it. Bar soap, you know, it's one of those things that can be really stripping to the skin, and even formulations that are made to be more gentle, the sanitation, the sanitary aspects or lack of sanitary aspects of using a bar soap is kind of what makes me uncomfortable. Like I would rather use something that comes in a container to ensure that the ingredients are potent and it's not exposed to bacteria, and bacteria really does like to build up on bar soap. So I personally wouldn't recommend it, but if you are going to go with one, make sure you go with one formulated for, you know, sensitive skin and formulated specifically for the face. Do not go with a face and body soap. That is not going to be a good solution for your skin. I do not recommend that. Question, can I use vitamin C, lemon extract, or lime extract in my skincare if I'm allergic to drinking anything with lemon or lime in it? Ooh, I mean, that is a good question, and honestly, something I would recommend asking like a dermatologist or someone who's familiar with skin sensitivities. I would say dietitian, but I don't think they would know, about skin sensitivities. I would be a little hesitant. Here's the thing: lime extract or lemon extract are not really the best ingredients for your skin anyway. They have exfoliating benefits, but honestly, you're going to see so much better results from using an exfoliating acid like glycolic acid or lactic acid or mandelic acid or salicylic acid. You're going to see way better results with less risk of irritation. They're not the worst ingredients out there. They're much better than like lime essential oil or lemon essential oil. But since you're already allergic, I would probably move away from it a little bit. But if anything, patch test, like try a little bit right here or on your neck. Wait a few days, see if you have a reaction, and then go from there. If you don't have a reaction, then lime or lemon extract in low concentrations isn't the worst thing ever. But if I were to say which way to go, I'd say probably just avoid it, and that way you can avoid that potential sensitivity. Thank you, Nicole, for your donation. Let's see. Man, you guys are coming through with the questions. Thank you. What do I think of Garnier? I love their micellar water. That micellar water, the fragrance-free one, is bomb. Works really well to remove like makeup and sunscreen. But all the rest of their products, I haven't found anything that didn't kind of immediately make me turn away. They really like the fragrance, and they're really about like kind of like fun skincare. But their formulations have yet to impress me, with the exception of the micellar water. So if you're gonna get something from them, I recommend that. Honestly, as alternative like drugstore brands that I would recommend, that are similar to that, I mean, there's Bliss, love Bliss. There's Versed, I love Versed. They're a great alternative that you can choose from as well. Clean Beauty, they have some good ones. Some of Burt's Bees. Oh, Elf. Yeah, I love Elf. I recommend any of those brands if you're looking for like alternatives to Garnier that are like similar price points. Let's see. Question, I've been using Curology. Do you know if Curology is good for your skin or not? I love Curology. I think the philosophy of Curology is so cool because it's formulated specifically for your skin. And from everything I've seen, like Curology really does prioritize like skin sensitivities and being mindful of that. I've loved Curology since I found out about them. I mean, there's a few things that I remember in my first video when I talked about them that I think it was like the packaging that I wasn't a fan of, but they've changed it over time, and I love the philosophy of Curology. I think they're so cool, and it takes a lot of the work out of skincare. If you're someone like me, I definitely also love exploring new skincare products, reading the ingredient list and everything. But if you're someone who just wants a simple, effective skincare routine, but you don't want to have to dive into the ingredients, definitely recommend Curology. I really like what they do. Let's see. Is Panoxyl 10% better than 4%? I'd say it just depends on what you're looking for. If you're really wanting to like target, acne that you're struggling with, then I definitely recommend, going with 10%. Be aware, benzoyl peroxide can have a drying side effect. So if you already have kind of like normal to dry skin, I probably wouldn't recommend the 10% just to, be careful about the potential dryness you're experiencing. But it just depends on the strength that you want. Some people like 4% because they don't feel like they need to go in really intense or they want to start out. Some people like to start with 10% because they really want to like target their breakouts and acne. So just really depends on what you want, the results you want to see. What do I think about Vanicream? I love Vanicream. I think they're great. I mean, I'll be honest, do I reach for Vanicream frequently? No, I don't, but it's because it's formulated, in my opinion, for like the most sensitive of skin. So many dermatologists I see recommend Vanicream when literally nothing else is working on someone's skin, when they're reacting to everything. Definitely recommend Vanicream. Do they have products that I'm like, oh my God, these are the best products ever? No, that's not what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to just be simple skincare, formulated with the most sensitive of skin types in mind. But if you are struggling and your skin is reacting to everything, I always end up recommending Vanicream. Oh, someone says, beginning to try to do a skincare routine for myself, but I'm a preteen and not sure with what I can start with. Great question. A lot of people ask me this, where they're just like, I'm not used to a skincare routine. I don't know what I'm doing. What should I start with? Start with a sunscreen. Find a good sunscreen that you love, like the ones I recommended before. You can also watch my videos about all my favorite sunscreens that I recommend. Start with the sunscreen because that's the most important part of your skincare routine. From there, you can add on a cleanser and you can add on a serum if you want. But if anything, if nothing else, I mean, skincare is about daily maintenance and it is a habit that you have to learn. And so when it comes to, building a routine, you don't want to overload yourself from the very beginning and then inevitably not end up doing your skincare routine because you're not used to implementing that into your day-to-day routine. So start with a sunscreen and then work your way up from there. No pressure. Skincare is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be enjoyable. Don't feel a lot of pressure, but if you're looking for sunscreen recommendations, just watch my videos that I've done before because I have a bunch of good ones that I recommend. Let's see. Hello from Florida. Do you have any favorite cruelty-free or vegan companies? Yes, Shelby, I do. So many ones. I mean, I love the Inkylis, which is vegan and cruelty-free. I love Bliss, which is cruelty-free. I love Good Molecules as well. That's one that we talked about before. There's so many ones. I've actually made 2 different videos where I talk about cruelty-free companies. And I also state like if they're vegan in those videos as well. Go watch those because I go through all my favorites there and you can find the whole rundown. I think I even give individual product recommendations in those videos too. So go check those out. But yeah, there's so many that I love and use on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, I recommend go watching those. Let's see. Hi, what do you think of In Beauty Project, especially their pimple paste? Hope to bump into you in New York City. Oh, I hope I see you too. I honestly haven't tried anything from them yet, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I have. So I'll have to check out the brand and look at the ingredient list because I don't remember what their ingredient list is. I have heard of them. I know they've gotten really popular, but I don't know enough about them to be able to give my like full opinion to you guys. So I'm gonna have to look. Should you wash your face twice a day or just once? I personally recommend washing your face twice a day because you want to make sure that you're first washing it at night so that you can get rid of all the dirt, the sweat, the oil, the pollution buildup that's on your skin, as well as getting rid of your sunscreen, and then using it in the morning to properly wash off your nighttime treatments. Now, if you have severely dry skin, really dry skin, I don't believe it's necessary to wash your face twice a day. Just wash it once a day at the end of the day, and then rinse your face with water in the morning. But for everyone else, twice a day is really good. That way you're like making sure you're properly cleansing your skin, but also not overly cleansing your skin. So many questions. Thank you guys. Can eating seaweed help in clearing up acne? I do not know the data to be able to determine if it does. I'd have to look at data. I don't know if there is any data out there that kind of explicitly says that eating seaweed will help with your acne. Seaweed in skincare, like in actual ingredients, is incredible. It helps with so many different things. One of the best types of ingredients that you can find in and like sea algae and like different things like that. All those types of ingredients are amazing in a product, but as far as eating it, I don't know, to be honest. I'd have to see the data, but I'm not totally convinced of if it would be able to help or not. When it comes to eating things, it's tricky determining what exactly to pinpoint that will be helpful for your skin or not. And also speaking for personal experience, I haven't noticed results in my skin when I eat seaweed, but it's a good snack. I love seaweed. We need more truth about videos. Really? I feel like I've done so many truth about videos. I feel like I've exhausted truth about but I'm glad you like them. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've done so many on so many brands. And just really deep dive. And the good thing, one of the things I'm really grateful for is when I started the Truth About series, I did it as a way to help, kind of show companies that people are actively looking for skincare that is good for sensitive skin, that's accessible by all skin types and skin concerns. When, even just a few years ago, it felt like it was impossible to find brands that were focused on skin sensitivity. Now, it's totally different. There are so many amazing brands out there that you can literally just find at the drugstore. So I'm like, oh, mission accomplished. Not that I'm saying it was like I was responsible for that, but like I'm glad that the industry is changing, which is where I'm like, okay, like maybe the truth about videos aren't as necessary. But I'm glad you guys like them. I've made many of them. Someone asked, do SPF moisturizers work? Yes, they do. You know, in order to have an SPF rating on your product, it has to go through extensive testing. But here's the reason why I don't recommend SPF moisturizers. So combining a moisturizer and an SPF, people already apply less SPF than they should be every single day. And when it comes to an SPF moisturizer, I'm likely, one of my lightweight sunscreens that I love using, I am likely to use a good amount, like a quarter size amount for my whole face. But I'm not going to be using that much of a moisturizer because that's going to be way too much moisturizer on my skin. I only, you know, apply about a pea to a blueberry size amount of moisturizer on my skin, which is not enough sunscreen to be able to get the proper protection you're supposed to. So while yes, they can technically provide SPF coverage, people and I are going to be more likely to apply less on their face, which is compromising the most important part of your skincare routine, sunscreen. So I personally recommend using a separate sunscreen. That way you can make sure you're getting enough to get all the protection that you need. But you know, SPF moisturizers, they still work. They've been tested to work and you're still welcome to use them. Just make sure you're applying enough. Oh my gosh, so many questions. Thank you guys. Let's see. Hello from England. I'd love to see a review on Tarte skincare, please. Ooh, you know, I've been asked about this before and I keep forgetting to do a review on Tarte. I love their, oh, what is it called? It starts with a B. It's a moisturizer that's a little bit more rich. I like that. They have a good exfoliating product too. Oh, their powder sunscreen, amazing. I don't use it as much as I used to. Because my skin's not quite as oily as it used to be, thanks to, you know, good skincare. But yeah, I mean, overall, from what I've seen, I like the skincare from Tarte, but I do know that they do have some formulas with fragrance in them, so just be aware of that. But yeah, no major complaints from Tarte skincare. Is the Inkylis cleanser good? I'd say it depends on which cleanser. If you're talking about the salicylic acid one, I love that one. That one's like one of my favorite cleansers, especially if you just want, you know, to help to curb the onset of breakouts and acne in a gentle way. I really like that cleanser, but I'd say it depends. I also like their fulvic acid one. That one's great. I'd say it was a little bit strong for my skin to be able to use it twice a day, but a really good one if you want a super deep cleanse. Also their oats cleansing balm, love that one. If you want like mild, minimal exfoliation, that one's a really good one to use. Let's see. Thoughts on Beauty Counter. If I remember right, they're really expensive. Is Beauty Counter the one that's an MLM? I can't remember. I can't remember. Honestly, don't take my words. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at the ingredient list again and look at the brand. But if I remember right, they're really expensive. And I tend to gravitate a little bit from really expensive skincare unless it has formulas that I'm like obsessed with. But yeah. Thoughts on Supergoop? I love Supergoop, their sunscreen, the Mineral Sheer Screen. Love that one, especially if you want a little extra boost of hydration. That one's really good. One of the best sunscreens at Sephora, in my opinion. How much time should we wait to apply sunscreen after putting on a moisturizer? Good question. Just what I like to do is when I put on my moisturizer, I like to spread it across my skin and then I like to press it into my skin. It just helps it to absorb a little bit better, a little bit faster. I personally wait about a minute before applying my sunscreen. I don't think there's really any need to wait a long time, and your moisturizer should be absorbed by then. But just, you know, make sure to wait until you feel that your moisturizer has been absorbed by your skin. But I wouldn't say any more than just like a few minutes. It's fine to apply your sunscreen right after your moisturizer. Do you like the skincare line Versed? Yes, I do. They're one of my favorite drugstore skincare brands. Do you like their washout gel cleanser? I actually haven't used that one, or maybe I did once. It has some ingredients that I'm not crazy about, and I think if I remember right, it was a little bit harsh. That's probably one of their products that I'm not crazy about, but most of the products from Versed I loved, like their Dew Point Moisturizing Gel Cream. That one's super good, one of my favorite moisturizers. And also their salicylic acid BHA serum. I can't remember. It's either BHA or salicylic acid. I can't remember. The blue one, the blue serum is really good. But the cleanser, I'm kind of like, it's not the worst, but it's also like looking at the ingredient list, I think I've looked at it like 4 times, and every time I'm just like, you know what? This just isn't to my standard. Just not the type of cleanser I necessarily want to use, but I don't hate it. Is it okay to sleep with your sunscreen on? You can. I don't know why you would. When it comes to nighttime skincare, that's really when you can focus on your treatments and anything that really focuses on repairing damage in your skin. And the less products, the better overall. So I don't really see the need to use sunscreen. I know that some people, they have like a lot of window light and they'll like sleep in, you know, the direct light. And in that case, like maybe, but in my opinion, there's really no need to be sleeping with your sunscreen on. And ideally you shouldn't have, you know, direct light shining on you when you're sleeping. But yeah, I'd say that's my recommendation. Let's see. I've had really painful acne for years. Nothing I do gets rid of it. I have scars and scabs, and when I went to the dermatologist, it didn't help. Please help. Oh man, I'm so sorry. And this is like the worst part of being able to like respond to your guys' messages and comments. When you guys tell me that you've gone to a dermatologist and it didn't help. Can you still see me? Sorry, it said that my battery was low. When you guys tell me that you've been to a dermatologist and it didn't help, that hurts my soul, because I always recommend going to a dermatologist whenever your skin is really struggling. And I say, if anything, try a new dermatologist. I know I wish I could help you. I wish I had recommendations to like tell you of like, this will fix everything, this will help. But when it comes to skin sensitivities that are that severe, I don't have the proper medical training to be able to like make recommendations. And more than anything, I would be scared to recommend you something that would make your skin freak out or even worse. So if anything, I'd recommend try going to a different dermatologist, see if that helps at all. Let them know about all your previous struggles and concerns and see what they're able to do from there. But if anything, minimize your skincare routine as much as possible. Use as few products as possible, because that's just going to be like contributing to sensitivity and reactions. As for, you know, breakouts and acne, I always recommend the ingredient salicylic acid, but more than anything, I just recommend going to a dermatologist. I'm sorry, I always feel like the bad guy when people like ask me like for recommendations when their dermatologist didn't work, but I'm like, ooh, I don't want to recommend anything that can make your skin worse. Let's see. Hi Hyram, I'm Manu. That's a cool name. I love that. I've got so many questions. I've got to go though. Thanks so much for educating me on skin. It's helped, especially after my kidney transplant last year. Oh my god, much ofas. You're from Tonga. I've been to Tonga. Ofa means like I love you, like sharing love in Tongan. And if you guys don't know, Tonga is an incredible country. It's by Fiji in the South Pacific. I was able to go there, absolutely fell in love with the people, fell in love with Tonga. I really, really want to go back when travel is safe and when, you know, Tonga has, you know, the COVID situation figured out. I really want to visit again. But thank you. I love that. That makes sense that your name is Manu. Oh, so cool. Well, thank you for the kind message, and thank you for your donation. It's going directly to the Thirst Project. For anyone who's new, all the super chats will be donated to the nonprofit organization Thirst Project to help provide clean drinking water to people all around the world. Thank you. That made my day. That's awesome. Hi Hyram, how can I exfoliate my sensitive reactive skin? Love you. Love you too. Thank you for the question. I would say really focus on exfoliating products that have a low percentage of exfoliants. You don't want to go for really strong ones where it's like 8%, 10%, 20%. Like, I recommend avoiding those. Focus on, you know, if it's like a glycolic acid or lactic acid, find the lowest percentage you can, or opt for ingredients. This is my primary recommendation. Opt for alternative exfoliating ingredients that work well for gentle skin. Things like mandelic acid, PHA. The PHA toner from Inkylis is amazing. The mandelic acid water from by Wish Trend is amazing as well. I'd recommend those, and just space out the amount of time when you're exfoliating. A lot of people think that you need to exfoliate every day or even every other day. You don't need to. You can exfoliate once a week, twice a week, work your way up. Just try not to over exfoliate your skin, because that can cause a lot more sensitivity and reactions. But you don't need to go for those crazy strong exfoliating masks. There's so many other ones out there with really great like alternative and gentle exfoliating agents. I hope that helps. Hi Hyram, how do you feel about Elf Moisturizers? I actually did an entire video talking about Elf skincare a few weeks ago, a month ago, I can't remember exactly. I went through all their moisturizers and talked about which ones are my favorites. My personal favorites are the Super Hydrate one if you want a really like lightweight, kind of cool while still really hydrating formula. Or I recommend the Happy Hydration Cream. That one has been listed as one of my favorite moisturizers multiple times. I love that product. Either one of those, in my opinion, are the best ones from Elf. I have super oily skin. What do you recommend? Yes, I got this because I struggle with oiliness. So first I recommend using a niacinamide product. Niacinamide will help to reduce sebum production and control oiliness throughout the day. I also recommend the First Aid Beauty coconut water cream. That is the best moisturizer I've ever used for really oily skin. I actually used it today. And that one, it's so nice because it quickly absorbs into your skin and just really creates a mattifying surface, but it doesn't dry out your skin, which is really nice. And then overnight, make sure you're really focusing on deeply hydrating your skin. One thing I noticed about my oily skin is when I really focused on moisturizing overnight, the oiliness my skin produced throughout the day significantly decreased, and that can be because your skin may be dehydrated, so it's overcompensating with oil. Make sure you have a good nighttime moisturizing routine. Use niacinamide, and I recommend the First Aid Beauty coconut water cream. I hope those help because those have really helped my oily skin. I have a really serious big pores problem. How can I solve it? Oh, sorry, I had a burp. So when it comes to pores, I hate to burst your bubble, but technically you can't reduce the size of your pores. You can only help to minimize the appearance of your pores. But first I want to say pores are normal. Like I have like visible pores kind of like on this area. Also on my nose, I tend to have like really big pores. Honestly, like pores are normal. It's okay to have pores. That means your skin is doing what it's supposed to. And the pore size is a lot of times determined by like where you live or your skin type, and really can't be controlled. So don't worry about, having pores. That's totally normal. But if you do want to help to like reduce the appearance so that there's not, any pore blockage or anything that's making the pores more visible, I recommend using salicylic acid. It has the smallest molecular size to be able to go deep into the pore and exfoliate all the, everything that builds up in it. So highly recommend trying out salicylic acid. The Paula's Choice 2% BHA solution is amazing, miracle product. Love that one. If you're looking for a good salicylic acid product, highly recommend that one. What should I do for blackheads? Same thing, actually. I recommend salicylic acid. Overnight, and then during the day using niacinamide. Niacinamide will help to control the oiliness so you're not producing as much, which contributes to blackheads, and salicylic acid overnight will exfoliate your skin to help get rid of that appearance. That's what I recommend like all the time to people with blackheads. It is a magic duo. Does face massaging help against acne? I mean, I haven't seen any data to show that. If it does, I would say that might be like anecdotal, like individual people saw good results, but I don't think there's anything that would show directly that it helps. I personally don't believe it would necessarily help. Face massaging is great. It's a nice experience. It can really help the skin, but I don't think it's going to help with acne. Not from what I've seen, at least. If you guys, have seen any data that shows the opposite, let a bitch know. But yeah, I don't believe it does. Is it important to use sunscreen if I live in Russia where there is little sun and a completely different climate? Also, hi from Russia. Love your videos so much. Thank you. I want to go to Russia one day. It looks amazing there. So if you live in a place that has, where it's dark pretty much year round, I don't necessarily recommend, wearing, like, you don't have to wear sunscreen inside. I still recommend wearing it outside because you don't know what minimal sun exposure could be peeking through the clouds. Sometimes cloud cover can actually make the sun damage worse. So you really want to protect yourself. But, I do want to be mindful of like, if you live in an environment where it's really dark, and especially Russia, depending on where you're located in Russia, it can be like dark for like literally like 6-7 months out of the year. So it just depends. I'd still recommend it, but you don't need to apply it as liberally or as much. just to make sure, you know, you're protected against that sun damage. But yeah, that's honestly what I'd recommend. Just make sure, you know, your vitamin D levels are okay. A lot of people do like to take a vitamin D supplement. Honestly, the majority of people will get just enough vitamin D from, you know, even minimal sun exposure, which is where you don't really have to worry about that in terms of wearing sunscreen. But yeah, that's what I would recommend. Could you do a video series about skincare products in different countries? I would love to. But one of the challenges is getting skincare products shipped to me, or even just trying to ship skincare products to another country is literally impossible. I can't tell you guys how many times I've tried to ship, you know, skincare products to my to people I know, or to my friends, or to subscribers all around the world, and it ends up getting returned. Even though I try it multiple times, it's really hard to do. Ideally, in the future, when I travel again, when, you know, the world is able to travel, I would love to do skincare from around the world and show, you know, like all the different products that I get when I'm in different countries. But for now, that might be something I have to wait until the end of COVID for, because it's, you know, it's kind of tricky with shipment. I wish it wasn't so difficult though. I always get so frustrated that, you know, they'll always like throw away or not return, or do return the boxes, and the skincare never is able to be shipped out. So frustrating. Let's see. Do you approve of the Neutrogena Ultra Gentle Daily Cleanser? Love you, by the way. I'm from Hawaii. Oh, really? Oh, I hope I get to meet you at some point. I love all my Hawaii followers. Neutrogena Ultra Gentle Daily Cleanser. To be honest, I don't remember the ingredient list of that one. I do like the Hydra Boost Lotion Cleanser fragrance-free one. I like that one. I'd say that's one of my favorites from Neutrogena that I've recommended. I don't know the ingredient list of that one off the top of my head, so I'm gonna have to look at it again. Overall, Neutrogena cleansers are not my favorite. I don't necessarily love using them or recommend them, because they have a lot of ingredients that I'm not a fan of, but I do know that one's good, so I would recommend that one. My lips are so dry, y'all, but I don't know where lip balm is. Yeah, I don't know where lip balm is. They're so dry. Does anyone else struggle with like really dry lips? That is the bane of my existence. I swear I will have my entire skincare routine figured out, but my lips will always be dry no matter what. It's so frustrating. Can I use chapstick before bed? Yeah, you can. You totally can. I'd say it's good to moisturize your lips overnight, or to put something that kind of seals in the hydration, because overnight we do lose water through our skin. Wow, so many questions are coming in. Thank you guys. It's like, wow. So much. Thoughts on Paula's Choice? I love Paula's Choice. They're a great brand. I love a lot of their products. Their 2% BHA solution is amazing. Their exfoliating face mask, the purple one that I always forget the name of, I think it's like the 25% one. That one's great. I love using that one every once in a while. I really like the philosophy of Paula's Choice. Let's see. Thoughts on Face Theory? I love Face Theory. I think they're such a great brand. I need to include them more in my videos because I keep forgetting. But one of the things I love about Face Theory is that they're sustainable. Their packaging is really easy to reuse, which I really like. And they have the option of being able to choose fragrance free if you don't want your products to be fragranced, which is so nice. I love that. So yeah, I like Face Theory. I think out of like all like the sustainable brands out there. I mean, glass isn't necessarily always the sustainable option, which stay tuned for a video that's coming soon where I deep dive into glass versus plastic packaging and which one is actually more sustainable. They use glass packaging, but the nice thing is that their packaging is really reusable, which is, you know, one of the biggest parts of sustainability, reducing and reusing. So I like them. Let's see. Is Korean skincare good? Hell yeah, Korean skincare is good. It's some of my favorite skincare out there. Some of my favorite brands like I Unique, what other ones? Or even like Korean skincare brands like Then I Met You that are inspired by Korean skincare or made by, you know, Korean immigrants. I love Korean skincare. I think there's so much to gain and so much to learn from the Korean skincare market because they're so far ahead of us. And I think a lot of people got turned off because, you know, of the sunscreen issues that are happening in Korea. But I don't think that's an excuse at all to ignore the incredible innovation that Korean skincare provides because they are like the champion, the leader. Ow. I hit my finger on the table. They are like the champion leader in skincare innovation, so I think they're great. You guys are asking about a lot of brands that I have not heard of, which is really interesting. Maybe I'm just out of it. But yeah, so many of the questions you guys are asking, you guys must be really interested in skincare because so many of these brands, I'm like, oh, I've never heard of this brand before. How do you feel about the Coco kind cleansers? I can't remember if I've used one of them. I might have used their oat one, which I think is good, but I haven't really used them. I need to use more of them. Coco kind is a brand I like. They have a lot of really good formulas. I like their sunscreen. That one's good. Just a great brand, but I have not tried their cleanser, so I'm gonna have to do that. What products can I use for redness on my face? So many different ones. Some of the ingredients I recommend looking for are things like niacinamide, centella asiatica, green tea. Like those are all incredible ingredients to use to really calm and reduce sensitivity. Oat extract is amazing. Any of those I would recommend. I actually have multiple videos talking about like how to get rid of redness and sensitivity in the skin. I recommend watching those because I give all my best recommendations there. But if anything, just be on the lookout for, niacinamide, centella asiatica, green tea, oat extract. What else? There's so many ingredients out there to help with reducing redness and irritation. Just watch those videos because I deep dive a lot more. Let's see. Ooh, okay. I like this question. Not skincare, but that's okay. We're getting close to the end of the live stream. We're not quite there. We have like 15 minutes where I usually do like the non-skincare questions at the end. But this is a good question from someone who donated to Thirst Project. Thank you for your donation. Tatum says, hi, what was the process like moving to Hawaii? I'm thinking about moving to Hawaii. I love your videos. Oh, thank you. So I'm going to be honest with you, it was really difficult. I moved to Hawaii by myself. I didn't know anyone. It was the first time I had ever been to Hawaii, and I was really just all alone. And I'd say it was a difficult experience because not only was I leaving my small country town home, where a lot of people don't really leave, I had to learn a lot about myself, and it was very hard, but it was it really was a growing experience. Here's one thing though, to be mindful of. Moving to Hawaii, I think, is glamorized in a lot of ways. I think people think that moving to Hawaii is going to be this life of just like surfing and at the beach all the time and relaxing, and they envision the tourist aspects of living in Hawaii while ignoring some of the more important things like connecting with a local culture, understanding local issues, understanding Native Hawaiian voices, recognizing the complexities of living there. And they, once confronted with that, when they moved there, it kind of breaks the, image of what they thought Hawaii was going to be like. And I feel like it's also not necessarily my place to like say whether you should or shouldn't move to Hawaii. I'm really glad I did, and I learned so much from it. But the funny thing is that a lot of people I know who move to Hawaii kind of expecting a certain type of life there end up leaving because it's not kind of the glamorized life that they imagined. I love Hawaii so much, and I think that largely comes down to connecting with the local culture, really being able to understand them and, be a part of that community, not a part of that community, but be able to be supportive of that community. I feel like I have so many thoughts going through my mind. It's a complex response. I'd say that most people who end up moving to Hawaii end up leaving, in my experience. And it's not necessarily the tourist paradise that everyone imagines, because that is kind of like a, how do I say, purposefully depicted image to boost tourism rather than caring about local issues and the local culture and Native Hawaiians. And I am so glad I moved to Hawaii. I absolutely love it there. But yeah, that's probably all I'm gonna say because it's a really complex thing, and I just don't feel like it's in my place to say whether you should or shouldn't. But I'm really glad I did, and I've grown so much of a person, and I think it's really a place where you're confronted with elements of yourself on how to grow and how to learn and It's just a beautiful place. Wow, that was a ramble. I'm so sorry. Thank you for your donation. It's just a complex answer, and whenever people ask me that, I'm just like, oh, it's I absolutely love it, but it's just interesting, you know. Oh, sorry, that was a long response. Dang, Hyram, get to the point. Thoughts on the use of the People Moisturizer. Depends which one you're talking about. The Adaptogen Cream, love. One of my favorite moisturizers for dry skin. It is a great product. Love that one. But their other one, I think it has some fragrant components that I'm not a fan of. But their Adaptogen Cream is really good. Please, I need to know if the brand Mary Kay is good. Girl, I'm gonna be honest. I have a philosophy on my channel where I don't support multi-level marketing companies, and Mary Kay is a multi-level marketing company. I just feel like if your skincare products are really that good, you shouldn't resort to a predatory style of selling it to people in order to, you know, try and sell as much products as possible. So I personally don't support Mary Kay for that reason. You can do your own research, but I would not recommend Mary Kay just for those ethics and values alone. Someone also said, what are your thoughts about Rhoden and Fields? I love you. Oh, thank you, Maggie. Love you too. Rhoden and Fields is exactly the same. Multi-level marketing company. Would not recommend supporting those types of brands because of the ethics. But, you know, make your own decision, come to your own conclusion. Also, sorry if the lighting is really weird. Normally at this time of day in New York, the sun is still out and it's fine, but it has been so cloudy and rainy today. And for some reason, when I do it on my phone beforehand to prep, the lighting looks amazing. And then as soon as I go into live stream, it's like, let's just make this look awful. So I don't know why I look so like orange and oily. It's kind of weird. I feel like, oh my gosh, when I look at my face on the screen, it looks so red. Oh my gosh, I look like I have a bad sunburn. I promise I'm not sunburned. I use sunscreen every day. Don't come for me. Hi, Hyram, you're an inspiration. Oh, thank you, Kim. That's really kind. Thank you. Will physical scarring ever completely go away? It can, but it takes a while. It takes a long time of consistent exfoliation, consistent use of like ingredients that focus on repairing damage in your skin, like retinol. And if your, you know, acne scarring is pretty severe, it would take, you know, some procedures to help with it. By dermatologists, but it can go away over time. It just is a long game. Like using over-the-counter skincare products to be able to get rid of acne scars takes a while. And so I don't want to pose it as like, use this and it'll go away so quickly, because that's not the reality. It's all about consistent daily care. But you absolutely can help to, you know, fade acne scarring within the skin by using the right types of products. Go watch my video about acne scarring because I deep dive into detail there. But yeah. Don't lose hope. Oh my gosh, I like accidentally hit my phone against this table. This table needs to move. Yeah, don't lose hope. You know, you can get rid of acne scarring and it will come. Don't be too concerned about that. It'll happen. Which question? Which is better for a breakout, salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide? Just really depends on your skin. The benefit of salicylic acid is that it's exfoliating. Benzoyl peroxide helps to get rid of the bacteria that causes acne in the first place. I've seen some people who have amazing results with salicylic acid. I've seen some people have amazing results with benzoyl peroxide. Both are amazing for you know, helping to prevent breakouts and acne. I personally recommend salicylic acid more because you can find it in a bunch of different types of formulas. Benzoyl peroxide, if it's not in a cleanser, tends to stain your clothes, stain your sheets, and just not a pleasant ingredient to work with. But salicylic acid, you can find it in a cleanser, you can find it in a moisturizer, you can find it in a serum, you can find it in so many different formats. So that's why I recommend salicylic acid, but honestly, whichever works best for your skin. And if you are someone who was trying one of those ingredients, whether it's salicylic acid or benzoyl peroxide, and you're not seeing results, I recommend trying the alternative, see if it works, see how your skin responds to it, because a lot of people are missing out because they think like salicylic acid is the only ingredient that you can use for breakouts and acne. I've seen so many questions about what my thoughts are on ZO Skin Health, ZO Skin Health. I don't know that brand. Am I just really out of it? I need to look that brand up. I need to see what the ingredient lists are because I have seen so many requests to talk about it, and I'm sorry I don't know the ingredient lists. I'm gonna have to look at it, but I will be doing that after this. Hey Hyram, what are your thoughts about Vanilla and Co? Their cleansing balm is bomb. Love their cleansing balm, super good one. I haven't tried their other products, to be completely honest. I don't even, do they have other products besides cleansing balms? I think they do. Yeah, love their cleansing balm. It's a great one. Works really well. I wouldn't say it's my favorite because the slip feel of it isn't necessarily like my favorite type of cleansing balm experience, but it's a really good one. It works. Hey, have you ever tried Peach and Lily skincare? Yes, I have. I love their glass skin serum. That one's really good. I'm trying to remember. I also tried their toner, and I tried one of their moisturizers. I need to try more from the brand, but I really like their glass skin serum. Thoughts on straight vitamin E oil? Kind of like I said at the beginning of the live stream, I don't necessarily recommend products that are just 100% one single oil. I think the benefit of using like oils in skincare is when it's in a mixture of a bunch of different ingredients in a really pleasant formula. Using 100% oil is not the most enjoyable experience ever. Vitamin E is good, but using 100% that can be really strong on the skin. So just be aware of that. And a lot of people do have, you know, some level of sensitivity to vitamin E, so be aware of that as well. I would just recommend looking for a product that happens to have vitamin E in the formulation rather than using it 100% on its own. Would you recommend Fenty skin for sensitive dry skin? No, I wouldn't. I don't think that Fenty is specifically catered for sensitive skin. Fenty skin is more focused on the luxury, the experience, the fragrance, all of that. If you want to watch my full review on Fenty skin, I deep dive into the products. And as I've seen more products start to come out from them, like their eye cream, which their eye cream looks like it has incredible ingredients, but their eye cream has fragrance, which I'm just like, why do you need fragrance in an eye cream? But you know, that's besides the point. I feel like my opinion on Fenty skin is already known. I love Rihanna. I think she's amazing, and I think it's so cool that she's created this brand. But from an ingredient standpoint, it's not totally in line with what I think is best for sensitive skin. So I wouldn't recommend it to sensitive skin personally. Okay, I'm gonna answer 3 more skincare questions because we're coming up to an hour. And then after that, I'm gonna answer just fun questions about New York, about anything random, you know, being a YouTuber or whatever it may be. I'm gonna answer the questions after that. So let's see, 3 more skincare questions. Can you do a review on Soap and Glory products? I'm just gonna be honest, not a fan of Soap and Glory. I'll think about doing a review. Overall, I'm just not a fan of their products. I feel like they're pretty harsh and pretty irritating to the skin. Cute packaging, cute branding. I think their branding is so cute. And I believe their makeup products are good, but I don't recommend their skincare products at all. What drugstore sunscreen is the best? Depends on your skin, but I personally believe the best one I can find right now is the Bliss Blockstar SPF 30. Love that one. I seriously use that one every single day. I've gone through so many bottles. Let's see. Uno más. One more question. How should I cure my fungal acne? Lots of love from South Carolina. Thank you, Deborah. So I made an entire video talking about fungal acne. Fungal acne isn't acne. It's actually just like a fungus that grows on your skin and causes all those little bumps. It's difficult to tell if it's actually fungal acne, and I deep dived into that video, but I recommend some products that have worked really well for people with fungal acne or variations of it. So honestly, I just recommend watching that video because it's way more informative than anything that I could talk about in this live stream. But yeah, go watch that video. It provides a lot of information about that. Okay, so now let's do the non-skincare questions, the fun questions. Questions about whatever you guys honestly want to ask me. I always like to do these because sometimes we get really intense and super focused on skincare and just like advice, recommendations, products, ingredients, that it's like, whoa, let's relax for a little bit. Not that I don't love responding to skincare questions, because I do. I feel like I could do it all day, but also after a live stream, my brain is always like flatlining. I'm just like, so much happened, so much information at once. So let's see your non-skincare questions. Let's see. And you guys can ask about anything. I'm an open book if you want to ask about living in New York, living in Hawaii, being a YouTuber, how I like social media, anything, honestly. Man, I'm struggling to find. I feel like mine is frozen. I don't know if my comments are frozen. Let's see. Are they frozen? Oh no, they're coming through. I think. I don't know if my chat isn't working. Let me look at here. Oh, okay. I'm seeing other ones on here. I don't know if my phone just isn't working. Someone says how old I am. I'm 25. I just recently turned 25 on April 20th. I'm looking into the sky like I have to think about that. I turned 25 on April 20th. It feels weird being 25. I still haven't fully accepted it because I'm a quarter of a century years old. Yeah, no. I don't want to accept it. Okay, yeah, I don't think my phone is working because it's literally just repeating like the same 5 questions and I'm not seeing like anything else. So I'm gonna look at this. Why did you choose, shoot, I missed that question. Why did you choose to move to Hawaii instead of New York or LA? Good question. I wanted to be in a place that was culturally diverse, with people from all over the world. But honestly, more than anything, I wanted to be, well, not more than anything, just as equally, I wanted to be in a place with great weather. And also being by the ocean is something that's really important to me. The ocean just brings me so much peace and just tranquility. And I love just being able to see the ocean every single day. It literally makes my day. New York or LA, I'm not an LA fan. I go there when I need to work and that's about it. Not the biggest fan. New York, I like, and I see myself being here pretty frequently, to be honest. I could see myself like being here and in LA and back and forth type situation. Sorry, did I say LA? I meant Hawaii. Here and in Hawaii, back and forth situation. Because I don't know. I like the people in New York. They're very like no bullshit, straight to the point, totally authentic and real, and I really like being around people like that. So, yeah. Okay, let me see. Sorry, I have to actually scroll on this and the lighting looks awful. Anything you want to do with your hair? I want to dye it a fun color again so badly. I miss blue hair. When Brad Monzo dyed my hair blue, that was so much fun and I kind of want to go back and do it again. But I might wait a little while because I do kind of like having a more natural hair color. I feel like anytime I walk into a room with a really colorful hair style, it's just all eyes on me and it's a little uncomfortable. But yeah, I'd probably want to do blue hair again or something like that. I think it'd be fun. How do you like being a social media influencer? Honestly, I love it, and not necessarily for the influencer reasons. It's more so because I found this incredible community online. If you guys have watched my mental health series, but before YouTube, my mental health was really struggling and I just really didn't feel like I had a purpose in life, and every day was a struggle. And I remember so many conversations with my best friends, talking about how I just don't feel happy. I don't feel content with life. I just felt so out of place and I just didn't feel like I really had a big purpose. But honestly, having this community online has shown me so much love. You guys are incredible. Showed me so much support and has made me so happy. I absolutely love it. So, I don't know. I really enjoy it and I'm grateful for it more than anything. Every single day, I wake up and I'm just oh, I can't believe this is my job. So freaking cool. How old was I when I came out? Great question. I was, well, it depends on to who. I came out to some people in high school when I was 17. I came out to my family when I was 19, and I came out to my friends when I was 18. So right around there. Once I was able to leave kind of my home situation, I felt a lot more comfortable being authentic with who I was, but it did take me a little while, but that's fine. Everyone's on a different time schedule. And I think more importantly than when you come out is making sure you're in a safe and supportive environment when you do come out. So yeah, that's then. Someone asked, what are my favorite artists? I am assuming music artists. I love Elenium. I love Said the Sky. I love Nicki Minaj. I love Seven Lions. Um, Jason Ross. I love Ariana Grande. Blackpink. my my like music range is kind of all over the place, but I love all those artists. Nicki Minaj and Elenium are definitely my number one. Like Nicki got me through so much, and same with Elenium. Both of them are amazing. Do I like horror movies? I do, but I don't watch them very frequently because I just don't watch movies. Period. Very often, like I'll maybe watch. I mean, if you're talking like me, sit down, watch a movie without working at the same time, maybe one movie a year. Maybe. Like, I don't watch movies. And with horror movies, I have to be around other people if I'm going to watch them. So I don't watch them very often, but I love horror movies that are like psychological thriller type. Like, I love Midsommar. I love Us. Like, those style are like really cool. I love those kind. Let's see. Do I love Olivia Rodrigo? Yes, I do, and I cannot believe that I had the audacity to upload a video reacting to her skincare routine having no idea who the hell she was when she's literally running TikTok right now. I think she's so cool. She's awesome. Her success is amazing. Good for her. Like, I am really happy with like the success that she's gotten. What is my favorite candy? Gummy, anything. Gummy bears, gummy worms, anything like that. So good. I could eat gummies all day, but I try to force myself not to because that's really unhealthy. Someone asked, how tall are you? I am a 5'7". So like short or average, I don't know. I think it's kind of like average height. A lot of people in Hawaii are like a lot shorter. So I kind of feel like average height, but every time I come to the mainland, I'm always like, whoa, everyone's so tall. But for some reason, people think like I'm like 5'2", which is like not true whatsoever. I'm 5'7". Someone said, are you an introvert or extrovert? Holy shit. I am an introvert for sure. Definitely an introvert. Like, I have to force myself to get out and interact with people because my default is to be alone all the time. I get really shy, especially if I'm in a group of people that I don't know well. I have been nicknamed like quiet kid for so much of my life. But if I'm around people, I try to like exert myself a little bit more, but I totally have a social battery. And I'm one of those people who will be like, hey, fun, good time. And then in the middle of like a party or something, well, I say that like I go to parties. In the middle of like a social gathering or something, my social battery will just die out. And I'm just like, yep, that's enough for the week. I'm ready to go back to being alone. So I love my alone time. I'm definitely an introvert. Okay, I'm gonna answer 3 more questions and then we'll be good. Let's see. What types of food did you try in New York City? I've been trying to try a lot. I've been eating in just because I've been working a lot. The vegan food here, so freaking good. Hawaii has like no vegan food, like at all. It's so hard to be vegan there unless you want to eat like acai bowls all day. The vegan food here is amazing. I'm really impressed with it. Someone said, did you go to college? Yes, I did. I studied, are you ready for this? You want to know my major? I studied international cultural studies with a primary emphasis of global peace building and a secondary emphasis of anthropology with a certificate in entrepreneurship. So basically, my whole focus was focus on, global issues that are happening and figuring out how you can merge entrepreneurship and building businesses with resolving social issues. And I loved it. It was great. I mean, I dropped out because I couldn't afford it, but I loved it while I was there. College was definitely like a good learning experience. Okay, last question. What zodiac sign am I in astrology? I am right on the cusp of Aries and Taurus. I am a Taurus, and I feel like in most ways I'm pretty Taurus-like. I hate confrontation. I'm pretty stubborn, but I work on that. I try not to be like too stubborn because I used to be like pretty stubborn. I love food. I love food, and I'm very like, when I set my mind to something, it is set, and I will like work as hard as I need to get there. But I'm kind of Aries in the way that like career-wise goes. I'm very passionate, very driven, like I really like to like overwork myself a lot, and I feel like that's kind of more my Aries side. But I don't know too much about astrology. That's just what I know. But I am a Taurus. Okay, well, thank you guys for all of your questions. Thank you to everyone who donated. I think we got to $361 will be donated to Thirst Project. If you want to learn more about the incredible organization Thirst Project, go to the link in my description box below. Thank you guys for watching this live stream and asking all of your questions. I always love responding to your questions. And as always, it just means so much that you trust me and you value my skincare philosophy and skincare opinions enough to ask me these questions, and I really, really appreciate you. So thank you to everyone who's watching. I will see you in the next live stream, which should be a fun one. And yeah, I love you guys. Thank you. And thanks for dealing with this really bad lighting setup because, oh my God.